Hello and welcome to my channel Crystal Experiences. This video is the 10th and final one in a series created to help you know everything you need to know about wearing crystal pendants. Well, at least what questions my customers ask me. The information is designed to help you make better buying decisions, better decisions about how to wear them and what to do when something goes wrong. If you have not started at the beginning of the series, by the word pendant, I mean any means of wearing a crystal around your neck, including those that have got drilled holes, those that you're putting in metal spirals, and so on. And by the term guidance and intuition, I mean any sense that you have that where you're receiving helpful and accurate information. And there's a multitude of names, including angels, gut feeling, innate consciousness, and so on. It has been created from personal and customer experiences of what went well and what went wrong with wearing a crystal pendant. My name is Shamara and I have been selling crystals for over 18 years, where I have shared stories and insights with hundreds of customers at markets and at our shops. In this 10th video, I'm going to help you feel comfortable about buying crystal pendants, because I'm going to finally answer that question of does shape, size or setting matter? And the answer is they do. Well, sometimes. So let's talk about, does pendant size matter? If the pendant is intuited as being needed to only assist you and not indirectly assist other people, then a small pendant will be fine. It might take a little longer to work, but they sit beautifully against your skin for hours on end, and they will work well as long as they're hanging at the best position. Remember that discussion from earlier? Now, you also could be guided to a larger piece, because guidance knows it wants to help you directly, but also the energy of everyone around you. Again, I had quite a chat about direct and indirect assistance by crystals earlier. Sometimes you might need a pendant that's larger than normal because your guidance has a specific message for you. For example, it could be that you do need to see the value in you, and that guidance noticed that you kept buying smaller pendants than you really wanted, and that was actually reinforcing the idea inside you that you're not good enough to have what you want. So guidance will try to use the size of the pendant so that you can finally affirm, hey, I really deserve this, and doesn't it look wonderful? Your guidance is fully aware of the situation of your finances, and they can guide you as to really what is important to spend your money and what isn't. Maybe you'll feel the nudge to stop buying a $15 lunch every day and to bring it in from home. Then you have the funds to get that pendant that will last you a lifetime. And finally, you can sometimes get away with a smaller pendant because actually it's shape. Certain shapes are very effective at channeling energy into the areas you need. This is particularly well known for the double terminated pendants. I have had many experiences of wearing them and noticing that they do get to work a lot faster than a round pendant might. So let's move on then to a full discussion of, does a pendant shape matter? Have you been frustrated sometimes that even though you have a certain crystal as a bracelet, even as a pendant, you are getting guided to buy that crystal again as another pendant? Did you wonder why? Well, first, check if it's your intuition from guidance letting you know it's time to wear the pendant you already have. You haven't been getting the message. Or two, if it's a no, then maybe you bought it for someone else. If it's a no, then the third reason could be you actually need that shape, because the shape and the crystal together may offer twice the ability of that pendant to help you in certain situations. And I'm going to first cover the six-pointed star shape known as the hexagram. It will illustrate why all sacred geometries, including flower of life and even the simple circle, hold their own specialness. First of all, if you're worried about religious symbolism, I did look it up on Wikipedia, and it said, the hexagram, being an inherently simple geometric construction, has been used in various motifs throughout human history, which were not exclusively religious. So relax. Its representation in most crystal jewellery is dumbed down to look like this. As you can see, the hexagon is made up of two triangles. One triangle points up and the other triangle points down. This has made it a really lovely visual aid to remember several ideas when you're wearing it. Firstly, the upward triangle represents, say, the sacred masculine energy, and the downward triangle represents the sacred feminine energy. And hopefully you can see how it is a graphical representation of certain parts of the male and female anatomy. In this shape, it's the two becoming one, and this can be very important if you tend to be, say, a person who only works in your masculine energy and you're rejecting your feminine, or vice versa. And so the symbolism is trying to remind you that you are whole when you bring both parts of yourself together. Some people might also find it a helpful visual aid for attracting their life partner, and I'm not talking about heterosexual, I'm talking about your energetic partner. Another important representation of this downward triangle is where it represents bringing the energies from above down to you, who is represented as being by the bottom triangle as reaching up to connect. Or the upwards pointing triangle could represent Mother Earth's energy being sent up to you and you reaching down to connecting to the love of Mother Earth. This is reminding you that she is a truly wonderful, supportive and vibrant energy, and to ground yourself more in her assistance. Maybe you're guided to buy an animal pendant. Animals can often be a great shape to wear for extra assistance. For example, you may feel drawn to buy an eagle pendant because the eagle reminds in you that it does not hesitate to get what it needs. It knows it's a natural thing for it to do, and it flies around as master of the air. And these insights remind you through your day to be the master of your life and not the follower of someone else's life. A crystal owl pendant, which in society represents the wisdom, so the wise owl, could remind you to check in through the day as to whether all that lovely knowledge you have been collecting is being purely shared with others as facts and opinions, to actually transform it into wisdom. There would be times when I intuited that someone needed a more structural pendant, where the shape was, say, a triangle, a square, a rectangle, even a faceted pendant, rather than a rounded one. Why? Because it was to be that person's reminder to create more structure in their life so they could bring more success into it. One customer was needing to buy a rose quartz pendant, which is a very feminine stone, to a square setting, and that was to remind them that they were lovable. Their angels were around to support them. Please receive in more energy into that lovely natural flowing energy. But also add some structure to your activities, because your life will be even better. Similarly, I would be guided to a message that a round, oval, even organic shaped pendant would be a visual reminder that getting into action and taking the lead was great, but were you feeling into whether that action had a flow to it? Because if it flowed, the results would be even better. Look, I could go on and on about this area. Hopefully you get the idea and you can do your own research. Just one final point, that the shape is sometimes more important than the crystal, and sometimes the crystal is more important than the shape. And a crystal store cannot have every shape and every type, financial reason, but also they just might not be able to find them. This could be a reason why you need to buy a crystal in one shape, but then you need to buy perhaps a shape in a plain silver, shape, and you just have to wear them together. Now, I, for example, had to buy a gold flower of life, but I wear it often with a clear quartz pendant to give me that extra connection to help. So, does the pendant's setting matter? Probably the least often thing I needed to guide customers to. So, should you buy a pendant in a claw setting? That usually was just a practical consideration. If you're going to wear knit open weave tops, don't buy the claw, because it's not a good idea. You'll catch the pendant on your outfit, you'll damage the clothes, and you'll probably end up damaging the claws and the crystal falls out. Energetically, occasionally I would need someone to remember to be reminded that they needed to reach out and grab what they needed, or it was really important for them to hold to something that's important for them, even in the face of opposition. What was important was not to buy a setting with a closed-in back. Initially, this advice had been given to me by experienced crystal intuits when I was a beginner. Over time, it also became obvious that my guidance was guiding me away from pendants that had closed-in backs. Initially, when I was first intuiting, I wasn't very good at believing I was actually getting my messages correctly. So if I got a no energy from my intuition, but I was thinking, oh, but the crystal's so pretty and I want it, I would buy it. These pendants then ended up sitting on the shelf for a very long time, being looked but then rejected by those who worked with energy, who could see, I could see they were ready to buy them, but as soon as they flipped over the back and they felt the energy from the back, they put them back on the shelf. My crystal team's guidance is that a pendant on a closed back setting means the crystal energy is only going forwards from the physical body. So it can help the emotional and mental fields, the spiritual fields, but the physical and etheric fields, which are to the side and towards the back, can't receive the energy very well. And when a crystal wants to help you, it wants to help you at all levels. If you've had an issue for a while and it's been sitting in all of your energy bodies, don't you want all of those energy bodies to be helped? A crystal against the skin helps the energy get more effectively into the etheric and into the physical too. And now let me touch quickly on the need sometimes for you to wear a particular coloured pendant setting or chain or cord. There have been times that a customer needed to, say, buy a brown cord because the brown would help them think about putting their roots down properly into the earth's energy. If a customer needed more sun energy, which is also considered the action energy, the growth energy, a throw the light on it energy, the masculine energy, they could be guided to a setting or a chain in a gold colour, even if they normally bought silver. And it would be funny, sometimes they would say, hey, that's funny, I had a feeling I needed gold around me. I thought I was imagining it. However, it can be quite expensive to buy gold pendants, and because of this, they can also be very hard to find in crystal shops, and jewellery stores rule they only have a limited range of crystals. So the solution often will be to buy a gold coloured chain. Just wear it with your silver pendant and that's okay, it doesn't have to match. And of course there's a vice versa to this. A silver coloured setting or chain would be intuited if the customer needed more lunar or moon energy, which is known as the reflective energy, the flowing energy and the feminine energy. To summarise this final video in the series, size, shape and setting may matter, but it is a pendant by pendant discovery for you, and it is affected by your level of development at the time you're buying it, the environment in which the pendant will be worn, and well, what the shop currently has in stock. No, also sometimes the crystal is more important than the shape, sometimes the shape is more important than the crystal, and sometimes both together are important. But you always have the final choice, and even a bad choice can help you learn a lot. If you've watched the whole video series, you've heard lots of examples of things going wrong for me, and each learning experience moved me further forwards in developing my intuition and connection to the crystals. It will happen for you too. My name is Shamara, creating videos to help you enjoy your crystals even more. I really do hope that this series of videos made you more confident how to effectively wear them, how to choose them, and avoid some basics mistakes. Don't forget to build your intuition by practicing the simple everyday task of selecting which pendant is the right one to wear, where to position it. And always remember, the more you do allow in the help of your crystal friends, by practicing with them and by releasing any beliefs you have that the loving assistance of crystals is wrong, then the quicker you will feel them getting to work for you. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe, and I look forward to reading any of your comments, including other suggestions for future videos. Namaste.